Hey everybody, last week I posted the video where I broke the tip on this Hogue Deka Magnacut Tanto knife. Let's recap. And this is something I do to a lot of knives. The purpose is not to discredit any particular knife or material. The purpose is to show the consumer what the product they buy is capable or not capable of. And I do it especially eagerly when I feel that the industry is pushing something very trendy, like Magnacut steel. If you've seen this knife, you know how thin the blade is. And the promise is, because it's a super steel, it can handle the stresses. But can it, really? After the video came out, one of the shortest and most to the point comments that I got was from Joe Sample 1460. He said, "Isn't the edge geometry more important than the steel?" So I decided I have to find out. Here's Deka clip point in Magnacut. Let's see what it can do. And here's the tree of doom that claimed 8 blades so far. And here's the knife. And what I do is I strike the tree until the knife breaks or until I reach 25 strikes. Each strike is followed by torquing the knife left to right. Are you wondering who in their right mind would go out there and stab trees? And the answer is, when it comes to knives, who cares about the right mind? To me, this activity falls under pursuit of happiness. So I don't care about the right mind. You can see clearly on the knife how deep I was going. Probably 90% of the hits were 3/8 of an inch deep, with some going as deep as 3/4 of an inch. So what made the difference? This knife broke because it has a reverse Tanto geometry. The knives you see on the cutting board all failed the Tree of Doom test. Benchmade Mini Barrage in D2 steel and modified reverse Tanto. Bare edge in S35 VN and modified reverse Tanto. Petrified fish. Grow. Blade K110 or D2, and the shape is modified Warncliffe. CJRB Ruffian. RPM 9 steel, modified Warncliffe. CJRB Kicker D2, modified reverse Tanto. After their tips broke off, I took them to my grinder, reshapened and resharpened the blades. Then I took them back to the tree, and each one of these knives passed the 25 strike test. And this knife stayed intact because it has a traditional clip point geometry. And clip point geometry is familiar to pretty much anybody who's seen an USMC fighting knife K-bar. This clip point is very similar. And when you look at the history of the K-bar, you will find out that the military specification has a specific direction to make the cross-section of the blade diamond shape. Do you find this video informative so far? I hope so, because you're taking time in your day to watch it. So don't forget to book me a like. This way YouTube knows that you like it and will share it with more people. I'm not done though, so continue watching, please. Hogue is actually a company that makes parts for the guns. Now, this is an example of M18. This is a military standard. This is what the United States Marines carry. That's just the frame, and is exactly the same color as Marine Corps M18 and Army M17 guns. If you're worried about some flex here, there's nothing to worry about, because this frame flexes more. Actually, it's thinner polymer than the knife grip. You can see maybe here, right there. If the polymer can withstand the type of stresses and pressures that are caused by firing 9mm cartridge, then clearly it is not going to be a problem on the knife. And one more thing I didn't do with this knife yet, I haven't tested its cutting ability. So I have like a little thin receipt here, and it cuts. This is factory edge. I haven't stropped it, and now I'm gonna strop it. Let's see, what can we cut? How about a cherry tomato? See, it's perfect. Just kidding. And in conclusion, I'd like to show you the knives that made it through the test, starting with this Box 722 in 420C. Actually a decent little knife. Benchmade Mini Adamas in crewware steel. One of my favorite EDCs is this knife. My backpacking go-to, full-size Adamas, crewware steel. It's a beast. Griptilian, this is an exclusion because it has some kind of worn cliffy blade shape. S30V steel. Next up is the Claymore in D2 powdered steel or CPM D2. Look at the action on this knife. This is an awesome EDC and self-defense knife. I think Lionsteel made a mistake calling this knife Nano. This knife should be called Pitbull Pop. You know when you look at a puppy and it has this huge paws and you know it's going to grow into a huge strong dog. One of my favorite fixed blades, this Benchmade Hidden Canyon in S90V, also went through this test with flying colors. It's my EDC fixie. Fixed blade Adamas in crewware is another one of my favorites. It's definitely a decent backpacking knife. I actually haven't done a review on this knife. Please let me know in the comments if you would like to know how I used PMAG and a few shot cases of 5.56 to turn these scales into the set of alphas. This is it for now. Knife responsibly.